Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once with another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, of course, you continue the journey of Transformers Prime. This is Season 1, Episode 21, T.M.I. That's the title, T.M.I. Too much information? I think it's obvious. Now, last week's episode, overall pretty solid episode. The main thing to take away, which I feel like is going to be a major impact moving forward, is that Starscream has now, independently, he's on his own. He has gone off on his own. Because he was spending a lot of time in the show before and after Megatron was found and everything and brought back into the fold in terms of the storyline and everything, trying to lead Decepticons and take over and have power and not be overthrown. When Megatron came back, he was trying to go a different approach. Of course, he was tricking the Autobots in last episode as well, so realistically, he has nowhere to go, right? Autobots are not going to take him because it's clear he cannot be trusted. And number two, on the Decepticons, it's clear that Megatron wants him dead. He would have killed him a couple episodes ago, but then Jack walked into the mix and everything, walked into the area, and then he saw RC as well, Megatron. So, you know, killing Starscream was not an option at that moment. He's like, oh, well, what are you doing here? He had a mission, though, to kill Starscream. Didn't happen, though. So what does this mean moving forward in terms of Starscream and his role in all this? I don't know, but I'm curious and interested to see what they do. And it seems that Arachne is now fully back with, you know, the Decepticons and Megatron, even though it's clear she's really only doing this for her own benefit and not so much actually working with them. So we'll see how it all plays out. So without further ado, guys, let's get into now episode 21 of season 1 of Transformers Prime. Let's go. Oh. I figured it was footage, like a recording or something.
Innocent vehicles battling for the pleasure of human spectators? Bloodsport. Thingamabob to which you refer happens to be a Cybertronian data cylinder. Ancient mythology. When the war broke out, the cylinders were hidden throughout the galaxies to keep them as far as possible from Decepticon reach.
The cylinder is at risk. We require backup.
Now.
Backup is what I'm built for.
That's the important mission, to mop? Oh, of course she did. Oh, shit. Oh, move. At least she moved.
The artifact must not fall into enemy hands.
Let's hope not.
Come to Papa. Run to Mommy.
Interesting that a lot of this is from her perspective that we're seeing here.
Where are you?
Where do you think?
Thingamabob.
Can't move it. It's too heavy. She's trying at least. It's activated. Yeah. Huh?
Didn't even smart.
Something happened though. There's something wrong.
Lose that thing. I want to help find it.
He seems fine to me.
For now.
Well, if you insist on making yourself useful.
Hey, we got any paint around here?
Art project? Cool.
The data is stored within them as a form of energy. It's scanned
Oh,
fully
Bulkhead
charged.
took all of it.
That's how we located it to begin with.
And I must find out what that vessel contained. When it comes to the secrets of the ancients, knowledge can be power. Differential of 1/3 R cubed is RDRR.
Oh yeah.
That is not art.
Chill, Miko. The data's only inhabiting a fraction of my brain. Infinitesimal by standard neural net densities.
Every con there made a grab for it, but the cylinder doesn't go off until Miko touches it?
The
Yeah.
cylinders originated from Cybertron's golden age, but these equations appear to be the formula for a synthetic energon. Handing us the key to revitalizing Cybertron.
Of atomic coordinates indicate convergent tertiary structures.
Aren't you done yet?
Irreversible, resulting in an energon temperatures and volume proportional.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long process.
Got another round for you to log, Ratchet.
It is as I feared. The
It's
data seems to be actively and aggressively rewriting Bulkhead's neural net. His memories could be wiped clean.
But if we stop him, goodbye synthetic energon.
You want amplified?
Oh no, what are you doing?
Is nothing of the kind.
You're starting to sound just like Ratchet.
Who?
Who? Oh.
Miko, we didn't want to frighten you. But rest
Yeah,
assured,
they
our
know
priest
something's
has a
wrong.
plan.
when Bulk's done spitting out that formula,
Will he be
he'll
himself?
go back to being regular old Bulkhead, right?
Oh, yeah, he will. Oh, I like that shot. That was good.
Optimus, you rigged a transponder to mimic the frequency of the data I
Yes.
seek.
Yep.
Megatron, surrender the cylinder, and I will return it to you fully restored.
Remember the time you watched Wheeljack lob his own grenade into the Decepticon heat exchanger?
No.
Who?
Who?
Wheeljack, your best bud? Do you even know who I am?
Of course. You're...
Ooh, that's bad.
You want to finish your formula, don't you?
What are you doing?
Do you accept my proposal?
We don't have the cylinder.
Then bring me the head of Bulkhead. Constant.
Why did she bring him to a monster truck thing?
No. That wouldn't factor.
Forget the past. Starting now.
Okay,
you can
how
make
does
new
Ratchet not know that they're
The
gone?
exothermic energy.
I know somewhere.
She shouldn't have.
inside you always
She shouldn't be
remember me.
allowed access to that damn
And I
portal.
just want you to know.
Not like Bulkhead to run from a fight.
Yeah, well, he's not himself, so. It would have been more interesting to see them actually, like, work. Not, I guess, not working together, but you know what I mean, like handing it over. They just hit never one. Okay. Jesus.
Breakdown. Forget the human. I think I'm warm.
Uh-oh.
Prepare for surgery.
Surgery.
No one gets it.
Oh, shit. Oh. Huh?
I did it again?
Yeah. And they're here. And Bulkhead should be okay, right? He's sleeping. Wake up. Come on.
Data has been fully expelled.
It's my fault you'll never know the rest of the formula.
Well, yeah, and you
It's
screwed
my
up.
fault Bulkhead's gone forever.
It's simply too early to know the extent of his condition.
True.
Something
But
as
Miko
simple
shouldn't
as
have
a familiar
done what she did.
sign.
And he's back. Just playing a chord wakes him up. Okay. And there you guys have it, another episode of Transformers Prime. Overall, it's a decent episode. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. We've had some, questionable episodes for sure. And I guess you could say this one is to an extent, but I think the concept of the episode is definitely interesting. I think the execution was overall, like I said, solid, decent. So there's this cylinder, basically device that was created by the ancients of Cybertron, and they've been sent out across the galaxy, and of course, by happenstance, there's one on Earth, and it transmits its data from it because Miko accidentally touched the machine. Well, she was trying to move it and everything, and then she went and kicked it, and then it turned on, and Bulkhead, out of every Decepticon or Autobot in that, area fighting each other, he takes all that data. It hits him, just goes right in. And the data on this is the I guess formula to create artificial what was it called, artificial energon. That's what it was. And he's just putting out the formula, and then of course they have to reveal, well, this is a good thing, right? Artificial energon, we could potentially rebuild Cybertron, we could potentially not have to worry about the usage of energon, right? Like we would be able to make it our own, make it ourselves. The downfall was Bulkhead was starting to lose himself in the process. He forgot who everybody was because of this, because the data is taking over his mind. And of course, by the end of the episode, it sends off the remaining data, sends it all away into the heavens, whatever, it goes out into space, whatever, because they use some sort of heavenscape or something. They use some sort of terminology there. Because she touched Bulkhead again, Miko did, and it detected this alien kind of DNA, and that's what initiated it to be sent out of the cylinder in the first place, and it gets sent out from Bulkhead. And of course he wakes up at her hitting a guitar chord. Just one chord. It's not an actual song. I love that song. What song? It's just one note. It's just like one chord. Like, what do you mean it's a song? It's not. Anyways, it's kind of an annoying thing. Like, go, I love that song. She hits one little chord. I don't know. Bulkhead was an interesting choice to receive the information. It would have been interesting to see maybe RC or maybe even Bumblebee. But Bulkhead was an interesting choice. And this was in the perspective, for the most part, of Miko in this episode. Like, it was from her perspective in terms of how certain events were playing out. Miko being there in happenstance at the opening of the episode where the fighting was going on, trying to move the device and then causing it to, release its data into Bulkhead. I get the part, okay, we had to have some sort of alien DNA, a human, touch the device in order to send it from the cylinder. And of course, Megatron and them, they get the cylinder and they have Bulkhead who has all the information. And then I think what was also interesting as well, and I really wish they would have played this out differently, but they had to have another action scene, I guess, where you have Megatron and Optimus meeting each other and essentially saying, look, I'll hand me that device, hand me the cylinder, and I'll hand it back to you. I don't know if he was being honest. I don't know if he actually would have returned the cylinder once they got it out of Bulkhead's head, back into the cylinder, all the data, and gave it to Megatron. I doubt it for a second. And he said that if you agree to my terms, handing me the cylinder, I'll hand it back to you full and free, and it's exactly what it was supposed to be. If he would have actually told Megatron what it was, I think he's lying. I don't know, though, right? Because Optimus has a line he won't cross, right? There was like a whole thing a couple episodes ago regarding the cave-in during the whole cave episode where Miko was like really being serious in the moment, trying to save Bulkhead, trying to move all those rocks. It's impossible. She's crying. And then there was a whole debate about, well, Megatron and Starscream are down there, and, should we let them die? Should we go back in there and kill them because they're stuck in there? Let's just get rid of them. Megatron, Optimus would have never have allowed that. He would never have done that. So I don't know if he really was being genuine when he was telling Megatron, hand me the cylinder, I'll tell you what was in it. I'll let you know if you have to read my terms first, then I'll tell you. So he might have been trying to fool him. I don't know, though. Won't know, because Megatron, of course, decided, you'll have to fight me for it, and then he crushes it. So it would have been interesting to see them actually have a conversation, right? Because so far, they've had some, but I wonder, in this sense, artificial energon, how this would have affected everything, right? Like, I wonder how it would have been if they actually would have had a conversation about what was actually in the data. Because they know what's in the data. Megatron Decepticons, they have no idea. They have no clue. And I think they might find out at some point, right? Maybe. I've always found it interesting with the show how they find new ways to introduce more bots and, like, things from Cybertron that somehow magically are appearing on Earth and all that. And it seems to be like there's no telling what they're going to find, right? Because it's like, it feels like Earth is somehow very important to the world of Transformers. And in this continuity, at least, they're not really explaining why there's all this Cybertron-esque, like, stuff they're finding. Like, what is so special about this planet? Is it because of something that we're not really aware about? Like, I don't know. Because, right, like, they said that they created, like, these cylinders, these devices that have this data and everything, and they were sent across the galaxy. And the way, even though the way they were trying to word it with Ratchet, like, it's like, and the fact there's one here is, like, insane. It's like, but of course there's one here, because that's what the show is. But, like, I wonder if they did a Transformers show that wasn't stuck on Earth, I think it'd be more interesting, right? And I bet there might be some storylines and stuff where they do those kinds of things, right? Where they're not stuck on Earth, they're traveling around. I'm pretty sure they've done that stuff before. So the fact that there's all this interesting stuff on Earth, it just feels like, why exactly? Because Cybertron is not even nearly close enough to what, like, what Earth and Cybertron are completely different. Like, there's no, like, real big similarity. So I don't understand how. I don't know. So yeah, I think they did a decent job with this episode. Like, Bulkhead's fine. Miko, but at least we had some moments with some of the other characters as well, and no other humans in this episode, just Miko. Interesting. No Raph, no Jake, whatever. Okay, whatever. Is it Jack or Jake? I forget sometimes. I do, until they return again. But yeah, so overall, like I said, a pretty decent episode, and I guess we'll see what happens next. I mean, we're getting close to the season 1 finale. We're getting close, guys. It's kind of crazy to say that, but yeah, we're getting closer and closer to wrapping up the first season of this show. So thank you guys so much for supporting the episode so far. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.